What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Cookie DAO today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. Here we are on this, the 12th of April, sitting at about 8.4, almost 8.5 cents right now. 21 hours, 24 minutes left in the day. Closed yesterday up about 4%, the day before down about 4%, so a little equilibrium here at this 8.5 cent level. The main reason why I'm making a video today while I'm on vacation, I haven't made videos in a little bit of time, about a week, because I haven't had a lot of time to make videos, so I have to be very picky with what I do produce. But Cookie DAO, in essence of being picky, I am talking about it because I did buy more. This is actually my most recent purchase. I bought more yesterday. Or maybe it was today. I guess technically yesterday is by way of the charts. Today by way of my sleeping schedule. But I bought more at about 8.32, 8.36 cents, something around there. We're up a little bit from there, and the reason why I bought more, I doubled down. I actually more than doubled down into what I bought up at these areas here, right? I was excited as hell to buy up here at this area, right around what is that? Anything from about 17 to 23 cents, right in that area. But I'm dramatically more excited to buy down here. We are at phenomenal prices right now, from the all-time high down to the current price. We're down about 90%, which would imply that if we do see new all-time highs, just to get back to your all-time high, that's a 10x there, let alone if you grow anywhere past that. And I think that we will grow past it. I actually think that we might be in the middle of a five-legged move to the upside. You move up kind of one leg really fast, an impulsive wave, 1, 2, 3 to the downside. Fourth leg's going to be pretty fast, 1, 2, 3 to the downside, and then five leg. The fifth leg will be big, if not as big as the third leg, at least bigger than the first wave is kind of what I'm anticipating. But time will tell. We'll see how that goes. All in all, I think that we have higher to go. And really what I'm trying to say is that the minimum target for Cookie from here, if this is the low, and we haven't confirmed it as the low yet, we'll go over what that would be. The minimum target's at $1.65. That's the lowest fib extension that we have, and it's very possible that from here to there that we see this overall, that'd be about a 19.5, almost a 20x move. From the low, that does give us a 23.4x move, 23.3x move, something like that. It is possible that we could stop there. I know that's a lot of hold on. Sorry, I had to cough. I know that's a lot of X's to go through from a low here to a high there. 42X is what we saw last time. 23X, it might be a lot to go through, but we saw dramatically more growth on this last move here. So I'm not saying that we have to see, just because we saw a 42X doesn't mean this time that we have to see a 43X. I mean, hell, man, maybe we see a 55X, maybe we see a 56X, maybe we only, boohoo, get a 22, 23X. Maybe it's not even that big. We stop at a lower high. I doubt that. But even at the pessimistic outcomes, even at the lower high outcomes, we're talking about a 7X, talking about an 8, a 9X. This is if it performs, you guys, an 8 to 9X is performing bad, okay? This is performing on par. That's a 22X. And if it performs, technically that's not even on par with the last move, just on par with what I would expect. If we see something that's on par with last move, we could likely go above $2.50, maybe even press prices that are above $3. Okay? If it performs bad, it's a 6 to 9X. If it performs good, we're talking about something that from the current price, sorry, that was a 6 to 9X from the low. I guess what would that be from here? Let's be fair. That's a 5.8X to a 7.5X. So a little bit lesser, but still good gains even if it performs bad. If we see our expectations met, that's about a 20X, 19.5X there, potentially higher than that. And if it performs well, and I think that it will perform well, I would say something on the lines of about a 28X to even prices that are as high as a 45X, 40X from here are on the table by the end of this next move. Now, when will this next move happen? I'm assuming it's going to happen, or it's going to begin sometime in April. It might have began a few days ago. This next move might be happening right now. It's just incomplete, right? This is the very beginning phases. It's like, when did this move begin? Well, I suppose you could say it started here, but the low was back here rolling up like this. That's all I mean. Like, where was the low? Where did it start from? It started here. You know, we're about to take off. I just don't think we've done it yet. And whenever we do take off, the reason why I bought more Cookie DAO yesterday and not some other of my favorite coins that I'm looking at is because it hasn't pumped yet. It's at these phenomenal prices. We got a three-legged corrective phase, right? You got the ABC Elliott correction wave going on, right? 1 here, 2 there, 3 there. Corrective phase complete. At least in my opinion, it looks complete. We're at a ripe area to find support. If we take this from an overall high to low, here, let's delete everything real quick. We take this from a high to a low, you can see that we're right in the golden zone. Low to high, not high to low. 618 to 69, that is the golden ratio zone. Finding support right here. The white zone is for loading and unloading only, and I loaded up, man. I more than doubled down in my position, and I'm happy about that. We found support here before, or resistance here before. We found resistance here before in this area, resistance here before in this area, somewhat of a significant area, support here before in this area. So I think there's a lot of logistics in the charts that provides significance for this zone to hold support. Being at the golden ratio, seeing a three-legged corrective phase here, I anticipate that this next move is not going to stop at the all-time high, but take us further. If this is the low, and I'm expecting it to be, but if it is the low, we'll confirm that by getting up above about like 20 cents. 18.17 cents is nice, but I'd like to see us get a little bit higher. A little bit higher is 20 cents there. Let's just say 20 cents. Really above these daily closing highs. So 18.7 cents will do it, but something above this area, right? Just above these daily high closes, above these daily low closes, stuff like that. If we can get above here, that'll really validate this as a low for me. And I think that it is the low, but we could go lower. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. We still could go lower. We're not out of the woods yet. And if we go lower, it's fine. We could go to 6 cents. We could go even lower than that. I don't think that we will, but it could happen. So don't, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but if you buy here and something like this happens, don't freak out, right? Don't panic. I'm not going to sell. It's okay if you buy here like I did and then the price goes down here. It's not okay if you buy here and then you sell down here. Because what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to buy here and then sell here. I'm going to buy here. If it goes down, cool. I'm going to wait. If it doesn't go down, cool. I'm going to wait. And whenever the time comes, then we're going to sell likely at new all-time highs. That's where I'm planning on selling, at least. None of that's financial advice. I'm just telling you what I'm doing here. But looking at the daily RSI, we have gotten the We've gotten the you-know-what kicked out of us, you guys. It's been a hell of a time since January here. Moving down a lot, staying oversold, not getting above the 52 often. What we need to see is a little bit of life in this indicator. We need to get above the 50 and stay above there, not just gasp for air. Something that's a little bit more persistent like what we had back here would be ideal. Second to that, what we need to see is not getting in the oversold zone, not living below the 40 as well, right? Here, you might have spent some time below the 40, but at least you weren't getting oversold. That set you up to go higher, right? You weren't really gasping for air above the 50. I mean, at times you were, but here you even started to live in it. So here, I guess that was a gasp for air, but something where we were at least not finding support in the oversold zone. We were finding support above it. That's what we need to see, and that can definitely turn things over to the bulls, where we can start to get some stronger readings and inevitably some overbought readings that can produce a lot of strength for the price. And I suppose the price would be producing those strong readings technically, but let's continue. 4-hour time frame looking bullish. Honestly, the 4-hour RSI does look pretty bullish. You guys, I want to be clear. Okay, this has a nice double bottom right here. We've got some volume coming in. We've got a flat top. You've got higher lows. Flat top, looks like it wants to break out. We dropped down I'm speaking plain right now, okay, so you can understand why I bought more. We dropped down at a very fast pace, okay. There's a plethora of cryptos that I could have bought in the last 24 hours that were on a discount or that are pumping in the middle of pumps. And I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not going to get the best coin every single time. That doesn't happen. Nobody can do it that way. Some people can, I guess, but that's luck. There's no skill that's going to have you getting the best performing coin 24/7 every single day or any time that it pumps. But for what I can guess, from what I've been analyzing in the markets, Cookie DAO is at a ripe price. It's moved down a lot recently, and if it were to just return to a kind of normal price, if we were to see this get eaten up in a very short amount of time, and Cookie does like to move fast to the upside, slow to the downside, I would think that we move very quickly back up to this consolidation phase here, which from a minimum point is about a 50% to a 70% move, and we could go higher. We absolutely could. This thing could snap back really hard, you guys. Really, I mean, we've seen it, right? It can snap back really, really hard. We've, from this same price, right, from this same area, in a matter of, let's just see, how many days is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, in less than 2 weeks from the same price, we're up 370% the last time around. Okay? We've had more time to configure ourselves. We don't need this much time to move up that same amount. We could do this in days. It could take more weeks than this. I'm not saying it has to happen just like this or that it will because we've seen it before, but I'm just saying in this area where we clearly recently did drop down faster, I think what happens whenever we break above this area is we're going to move up in a very straight kind of line all the way up to about 12 cents to 15 cents, maybe even higher than that. The reason why I bought Cookie DAO yesterday is because I don't think that it's going to be at this price for too much longer. You look at the 4-hour RSI, and again, I'm just speaking plainly here. The RSI is killer. It's everything that we want to see the daily look like. We're changing things around, right? You were not getting overbought. You were gasping for air above the 50. Couldn't even get above the 50, living in the oversold zone. Now you're living above the 50. You're gasping for air below the 50. You can't stay below it. This is a good thing. And hopefully finding support at the oversold zone or above the oversold zone. Maybe you don't even get down there, but you're looking a bit different now than we have in a little bit of time. Let's see if we can persist, right? Not just reject the 60 like we have in the past, but get above the 60, get into the overbought zone and continue this. And with this flat base like this or this flat top and ascending lows, I'm under the assumption that we are going to see a nice move up to the upside here over the coming days. I mean, make no mistake, and I'm not saying this is going to happen, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but watch in the next 24 hours. By the end of this week, we're up 50%. And you're going to, I was thinking about buying it down here, but now that it's up here, now I'm going to buy it. Well, don't be shocked if you buy it up here and then it crashes back down and then we continue to rise. It's not going to be a straight shot all the way to $2. It could be. I doubt it, but there will be volatility. There was volatility last time, a hell of a lot of it. It doesn't look that big in reference to this overall move, but man, here from a high to a low, it's a 52% drop, 51% drop from a high to a low here. Come on, let's get the actual high on there. That's a 37% drop in a matter of less than a week, right? Matter of days, guys. 38% drop. That took 2 days to happen. This one here, right next to it, 32% drop. It's very volatile on the way up. Very, very volatile. And what I plan for Cookie DAO, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but what I'm planning for Cookie DAO is to not trade any of it. I'm just buying here. I bought here. I'm holding until we see new all-time highs. And once we're at new all-time highs, that's when I'll start to consider to sell. Not right when we're at new all-time highs. And again, none of this is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. But what I'm telling you is my expectations are at a minimum. These are my minimum expectations, not what I'm expecting to happen. It's what I'm expecting the floor to be. Like if we're just tickling the surface of what my expectations are, this is what that is $1.65 in price, and we're at about 8.5 cents right now. That in numerical format would be a 19.7x. That's almost a 20x from here. The minimum target, the floor. If we see something that's a little bit more on par with what we saw last time, we could go above $2. Maybe we see something just above the 1 for 1 for. It's very common to do that. When you hit the 1 for 1 for, you go just above it. Or perhaps Cookie DAO is getting some recognition now. It's on Bybit, it's on Binance, it's on Coinbase, it's on Kraken, it's on all the big exchanges. KuCoin, of course, all the big ones. And maybe now that it has that availability, that liquidity, that marketability, maybe we see something that's bigger than any other move we've seen this cycle. After all, I do expect a lot of cryptos to see the biggest moves they've seen this whole cycle. I think that's coming. So all I'm trying to say is 20x might just be the tip of the iceberg. Perhaps we do see something that's over 30x, or just maybe something that takes us all the way up near $4, above 350, something like that by the end of this move. When is this move going to happen? Well, again, I think we started sometime this month, and I think it ends sometime by the end of June. That's my expectation. Fast moving move. Volatile along the way. It won't just be a straight line. At times it'll feel like it, but for times it won't feel like it. There'll be uncertain moments, and I think the best way to combat those uncertain moments is just buy, hold. If a dip comes your way and you got some dry powder on the side, buy some more and keep holding, because until we're in the promised land of $1.65 to $3.90, I'm not selling. I'm not letting go of any of this. I think it's got phenomenal potential. This is just the end of this next move, not the end of the cycle. The end of the cycle, I think that Cookie DAO could be worth $10. It could be worth tens of dollars. I mean, hell, man, we could see. I'm not even kidding. We could see the same being worth $100. You look at what it's, and I'm not even kidding when I say $100, guys. It could be worth $100. It depends on what this next move sees, but we're talking about something at a ridiculously low market cap, $38.1 million. And what did you do? What did you do over the last 24 hours? You got 22% volume. What did you do to get such a high amount of volume relative to your market cap? Why do you have so much of that? What did you do? You didn't do anything. You moved sideways. You've moved sideways. Yesterday was above average volume, but it wasn't really that far above any of these other days where you're moving sideways down here, right? You've 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is your 7th day now, a week that you've been in this area, and you're experiencing 22% volume on a 24-hour basis relative to your market cap in this boring nothingness of about a week. Something's going on here. Accumulation's going on here. At least I think it is. If we were to continue, if it was selling, I think we would continue moving down, and we haven't. The crypto markets are looking like they're gonna flip. And ending this video on the note of how high this thing could go, we're at a $38 million market cap now. I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm just saying this is the potential. I've seen coins that have seen 100x. I've seen coins that have seen 1,000x. It happens. Last cycle, we had a meme coin, Shiba Inu, that saw an $80 billion market cap. It was its first cycle. It started at a market cap that was lower than $100 million. Okay? Crazy things can happen in this market, let alone for memes, let alone for things that actually have fundamental values. Cookie DAO has some fundamental values to it. It's a very, very interesting project. I encourage anybody and everybody to look into it. Make sure you know what it does before you invest in it, okay? That's very important. Do your own research. When I tell you can do 100x from here, right? 100x from here would put you at about $8.47, right? That's 100x from here. That puts you at about a $4 billion market cap, just below $4 billion, $3.8 billion. That's a 100x from here. When I tell you that this thing has 1,000x capabilities by the end of the cycle, you guys, I'm not kidding. It genuinely could see. You could see a market cap with something like this. If the AI narrative takes off in the right way, if this is a leading director in this kind of space, and we continue to move as we've moved prior to where we are now, it really does hinge on what we see on this next move. This might be one of the only plays that I have available that I'm actually very confident in that has a 1,000x potential from its current price. Because a 1,000x would put it at $84. I think this thing could see $100 or around there by the end of the cycle. I'm not saying that it will. Again, that's what I started saying this with, but that is the money zone. $90 there. The color of money is orange now, right? We've taken it back. $90, $158. Very possible outcomes. Not even as high as the market cap of Shiba Inu last cycle. This does take into account token unlocks and everything, as long as we make this move by December of this year or November of this year, whenever those token unlocks start to happen. So I'm just saying, even if we don't see this crazy number, which from the current price, by the way, all the way up at $90, that is a 1,065, almost a 1,066x. We're talking about probably not at 158. I doubt that we go up to 158 because that'd be a near 2,000x. I don't think that we see something like that. But crazy, crazy stuff. Let's tone the crazy down a little bit. What about the 2,618? What about here? A measly 557x. What about the 2,272? What if we go just a little bit above that? Because it's very common to go just above that. Well, that's still a multi-100x there. Let alone if we do see prices at $7.50 to $10, which are equally possible, I would say. Not quite 100x at $7.50, but just over 100x at about $10. This thing has a lot of room to grow. A lot of room to grow. And if we see this take place in the way that I think it's going to, I think that we have 2 more legs up, just like the last one. 2 more. 2 of them. And they might be the same. They might be the same exact distance. They might be lesser or bigger. But let's say we move up here, and then the next one we pull back and find support down at this prior area of resistance here. I mean, we could easily see prices, you guys, that are dramatically higher than where we are now. But I got nothing else to say. I'm running out of steam, so I think I've made my point. Cookie DAO, look into it. If you're trying to read the white paper, it's a little bit tricky to find. It's not tricky. It's just, you know, if you're lazy, it might be, you know, you click on Cookie DAO here. So I clicked on the website, right? It's cookie.fun. Click on this. It says Cookie DAO. It pulls you to this. You click on tokenomics. All right. It's not just the tokenomics. It's the whole white paper. I encourage you, whoever you are, if you want to buy this thing, read about it. Figure out what it does. Figure out some interesting things about it that give you a reason to hold it. If you can't find a reason to hold it, don't invest in it. It's pretty simple, right? But if you can and you like it, then the good thing about finding a reason to hold it is if it goes down, you're not going to make the piss poor decision of selling the lows. You'll hold because you have conviction, and you might just even make the smart decision and buy more. We'll see how that goes. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. I'm scrolling through this right now, so you can pause it at any moment you want and read about the white paper if you'd like. Shout out to Ivan on Tech for putting this one on my radar and the whole damn crypto markets radar over a year ago, man. Over a year ago when they were just starting out. I wouldn't have known about this if it wasn't for his review on it that he did a long, long time ago. I think it's important to give shout outs to people, especially if you get ideas from them or if some kind of, I don't know, great discovery stems from them. I think it's important because why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you give credit to the person that gave you this resource of information to start with, right? It's because you want to act like the arbiter of truth. You want to act like you're the only person in crypto that has all the info, and that's just not cool, man. We should all celebrate the people who share information, helpful information. We should all be aware of who those people are. So anyways, I'm going on a whole philosophical rant. I got nothing else for you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Bye.